Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Salmon7. So this is a thing I really wanted to talk about, and before I start, I have to warn you that I have a cold, so it's gonna be a bit harder for me to talk about this topic. But we will see how will I do. And today's topic is the new Marvel Spider-Man that is airing on Disney XD that aired into the 2017. The Marvel Spider-Man cartoon series that is airing right now. I'm really getting sick of these reboot names at this point because a lot of reboots nowadays just don't even try anymore. They just put the name and that's it. They don't even try to add extra title or anything to differentiate the franchise as a whole. But whatever. But Marvel Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man. What can I say about this show? It is a bad show. It is god-awful show, and it is my opinion, of course. If you like the show, if some of you like the show, good for you. But for me, it is a bad show. It is so atrocious. And I thought Ultimate Spider-Man was bad. But one thing I have to give credit for Ultimate Spider-Man is the fact that they had good animation. And that is it. But the rest of the show was just awful. Now, don't get confused with Ultimate Spider-Man. There's a cartoon series that aired also on Disney that replaced Spectacular Spider-Man. Yeah, thanks Disney. But there are also the comics and also the video game that is based off the comics. So, if you want to read the comics, Ultimate Spider-Man comics, they actually are pretty good. And it is a lot different from the Amazing Spider-Man comics. But it is a pretty good story on its own. It tells a different Spider-Man lore than the original Amazing Spider-Man comics. But you do you, I guess. But Marvel Spider-Man is even worse than Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon series. Now, why I think that it is a lot worse is because the show, it has bad animation, it uses CGI cars, which is lazy, by the way. And basically everyone is a genius, every student is basically a villain for some godforsaken reason. And there's characters like Gwen Stacy, Miles Morales, the new, what's her name, Liz Allen, I think. Just, oh my god. Now, I know a lot of people that actually don't talk a lot about the show, but there is a very good reason because of it, but I understand why a lot of people don't talk about it. Now, a lot of people might defend this show and saying it's better than Ultimate Spider-Man. Now, like I said, I defend Ultimate Spider-Man for its animation, but the animation that the Marvel Spider-Man, the new Marvel Spider-Man 2017 show has, it is the worst thing I have ever seen. It's so lazy that it is so bad that I don't know how to even describe it without saying swear words at this point, because we had in 2010, or it was 2009, I don't remember, it was 28, I think, when the show aired, Spectacular Spider-Man. We had Spectacular Spider-Man. The Spectacular Spider-Man was made by the same person who did Disney's Gargoyles. Does anyone remember Disney's Gargoyles? I haven't seen it, but I think I should watch it. But it was created by the same person who did Disney's Gargoyles, and he made 2 seasons out of it, and it followed the comics. It had very amazing characters, amazing villains, and it ends in a cliffhanger, gets cancelled, and because a lot of people trying to understand why Spectacular Spider-Man was cancelled, and I think it was cancelled because, not because yeah, it was also because Disney bought it, but Disney bought rights to Marvel, TV rights, of course. And also, but they bought TV rights to Spider-Man, but not the movie rights. But Spectacular Spider-Man was original property of Sony, and when they moved to Disney just, I don't know, they don't even try anymore with these Disneyfied Marvel cartoon shows, because And what I really miss about action cartoons is the fact that it had serious it had good stories, plot, some really big troubles for our main hero, villains that actually are villains that I actually feel like threats, and actually his hero caring about the civilians. Now, Marvel's Spider-Man is not exciting. I watched a few episodes of it, and I couldn't watch even more than 5 minutes of the show because it is that bad, because the animation is so bad. They even made Peter Parker Spider-Man even worse than in Ultimate Spider-Man. In Ultimate Spider-Man, what I didn't like about the fact that they ruined Spider-Man's character, what he represents, what he really is Spider-Man is not really a team player, but in the Marvel Spider-Man they just tried to throw in more Spider-Man in it because why not? On Ultimate Spider-Man, I feel like they just picked up Deadpool. It just stripped him out of everything, put him in a Spider-Man costume, and bam, you have Ultimate Spider-Man. You know, the cartoon series, not the comics. But I don't know what to say about this, because Marvel Spider-Man has lazy animation. They ruined Spider-Man's character. He can't even shut up for 5 seconds. Now, I understand that Spider-Man is a talkative character, talks a lot, jokes a lot, but this show is so bad that it is... Like, one of my problems is that there was an episode I saw that Spider-Man saves Gwen Stacy's life. And then she's like, you know, you could have just made a parachute, right? Like, blah, 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 science, blah, 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 science. Like, what? This is so wrong. Like, every character in Marvel Spider-Man, every character is a genius, is an Einstein, is a, I'm the smartest person in the world. No, wait, I'm the smartest person in the world. Like, and the worst part is the villains. The villains are students that go in the same school as Peter. Shocker, fat guy in a suit, in a teched up suit. Villain. Rhino, another student. Dr. Octopus, teacher. And the parents, like, what? And even if they really screwed up, the great power comes with great power comes great responsibility speech. They add more science to it. Science, because why not? I understand that Peter Parker is a smart kid. He's a genius. He tries to figure out strategies to take down his foes, but you can't just cram in science. I understand, like, I get it. You want to educate people, but Spider-Man is not a show that educates people with science. Like, it's an action cartoon that inspires people to be better, to actually move forward, to fight back against people that do horrible things to them, to other people, or to them. That's what Spider-Man is. Yes, Spider-Man is a genius, but actually you can still learn few things about science from his own words. Like, one of my problems I have with these modern day cartoons. Now, Diamond Bolt, YouTuber named Diamond Bolt, shout out to you, man, you're awesome. But Diamond Bolt made a video about the problems in modern day cartoons, and they actually made very specific points about it. And I completely agree that modern cartoons nowadays, you know, a lot are just bad. Now, I'm not saying all modern cartoons are bad. There are some good shows, but we have barely 8 good shows because the bad shows are overthrowing the good shows that are airing on kids networks. And one of my problems is the fact they do it because, you know why these shows are lazy, like Marvel Spider-Man, with its animation, with its characters, with its everything, why it's so lazy? Because it's not for us, it's for kids. Now, I actually made a separate video about this topic, about why I hate this excuse that people use it a lot. In my country especially, people think kids shows are just for kids and they're not for adults and teenagers. There was a show there was another show that aired on Disney a few years back called Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Earth's Mightiest Heroes was a really good show. It followed the comic storyline and added a few things from the Marvel's Avengers movie, but it still was its own separate thing. It was a fantastic show, and it had good plot, very interesting, intriguing characters, mystery. They had some mystery elements and tension, and made villains threatening. Hell, even they made Loki threatening. But I mean, this is for kids. Like, I made that separate video about why I hate that excuse, but nowadays the YouTube has blocked the video because harsh language. Thanks, YouTube. Really, thanks a lot. And this is really getting on my nerves because nowadays when people use that excuse, it's like, why bother? Why even try? It's like, I don't know what to do, guys. Like, is this really the path we need to go in? To be lazy, to be less sociable, to worry about SGVs and feminists. They also do these shows, they make them more watered down because of these things like SGVs and feminists walking around in America. That is, since when Disney cares about this? Since freaking when? They started freaking about this when they just bought Marvel and Star Wars. And I watched another video on YouTube that talked about how Disney messes up their Disney worlds with adding more Marvel, Star Wars themes. One thing I liked about Marvel and Star Wars is the fact that they were their own separate properties, their own separate original ideas. Now, of course, some companies did own these things, like Lucasfilms, whatever. Marvel, for instance, was owned particularly by Sony. X-Men Fantastic Four was owned by Fox. But now Disney buys Marvel, Star Wars, Fox, basically everything. And I don't like that they bought Fox because at least Fox, yes, the 20th Century Fox does have its fair share of problems, but at least they tried to improve their quality of movies. They actually tried to learn from their mistakes and do better. Like X-Men Days of Future Past, Logan, Deadpool, those were fantastic movies and a lot of people loved them. Yes, they messed up Fantastic Four again, but at least they tried to learn from their mistakes and try to do better. But now that Disney buys Fox, they're just gonna reboot X-Men and they just turn the X-Men into this jokey, haha, fun type of less violent superheroes. And they make like Magneto this generic villain again. Like, a lot of people are crazy excited about Infinity War, but I am not, because I think that trailer is one big lie about making Thanos this threatening, dangerous villain, but like they did with Age of Ultron. But you do you, I guess, because there are people that have their own opinions. I have mine, and I am saying this: Marvel's Spider-Man 2017 is the worst show in existence. It is the worst Spider-Man show I have ever seen. I love Spectacular Spider-Man. It's one of my favorite Spider-Man shows next to Spider-Man the Animated Series. And the fact is that it saddens me that good shows get cancelled and don't end in their own way to be more memorable by many fans and also newcomers of these shows and these characters, and instead replaced by something more kid-friendly and watered down. This is my opinion on Marvel's Spider-Man 2017, because I don't know what to do, guys, because is this what we really need? Is this what the path we need to go on to have less effort put into animated shows as well? To put less effort into anything at this point? Let me know in the comments what you guys think of the show. If you like the show, good for you. I'm not judging you, but for me, it is a bad show. It has real bad animation, so I don't know what to do. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you agreed with my honest opinion on this. Subscribe if you guys want to, and I will see you guys later or whatever. And don't forget, also if you want to share this message to other people about Marvel Spider-Man, what my thoughts about Marvel Spider-Man, that is right, Marvel Spider-Man 2017 cartoon. Oh my god, I hate this title already. Then share this video with others if you want to spread the message that good cartoons need to come back at some point. We need more better action cartoons like Generator X, the original Teen Titans, whatever. So yeah, see you guys later, whatever.